Yeah, coming off the bench last week in Sydney, one hell of a momentum shift, wasn't it? Did you see from a player's point of view that maybe you're able to exploit in your way?
I think in the context of the game and where it was at in that second half, I think it was definitely a better second half than it was the first half. And then us boys on the bench, we just knew that we had to inject some energy into the game, and I thought we did that. So yeah, that's exactly what we were thinking.
Take us back to half time. What was Joe's message? Was it a spray or was it pretty cool, calm and Howie?
No, it wasn't a spray. It was more so just tightening the screws on stuff that we knew that would get us back into the game. And I think going into half time, the margin could have been bigger, but I thought we did well to sort of stay within range on the scoreboard. So a spray wasn't needed. It was more so just going back to doing what we did, what we knew that we could do well, and that got us back into the game in the second half. So it was just regrouping and just doing what we had planned to do in the first half.
And Dylan, moving from that test to this one, when you do get so close to what would have been a insane comeback, what does that do from the player's point of view? Does it ignite a fire within you to kick on? Again, here in Wellington, having the chance to the All Blacks traditionally aren't too great here. Chance to do something here this week and be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we've always had that fire that we can, be there and be amongst it all. So it really hasn't ignited anything. It's kind of just, what we've always been doing. But I suppose it gives you a bit more confidence with stuff. But being in Wellington and having the opportunity to do that again is a really big thing for us.
Lupin, can I ask you of your memories of the 16 all in 2020? I think it was the first league test for Foster and Rennie. It was an insane windy day and went right down to the wire. What do you remember about it?
Yeah, it was the arm wrestle of the match, that one. I think Hodgie just missed the kick there, hit the post.
From about 80 metres or something?
Yeah, something like that. So, the last time we played it was a tight contest, and look, we're hoping that it isn't a tight contest and hoping that we can get a result this week, because we know that when we do our stuff and do it well and execute our plan, we know that it gives us the best opportunity to do so. So, good to be back here in Wellington, and a week's a long time in rugby, so hopefully we can send it around.
Do you sense opportunity when you come here, given the All Blacks? Similar question to Finn. The All Blacks record here isn't as good. It's certainly not Eden Park. Like, is it open opportunity?
I don't read too much into that. I think any team enjoys playing at home, and it's the All Blacks in New Zealand, so it's always going to be a tough match. History shows that whenever it's been a tight contest, the first game, the second game always hasn't gone our way. So we know that we've got to be better. We understand that. We acknowledge that, and it's not going to be easy. Sold out crowd here in Wellington at Sky Stadium. Entered back home, so be a close game.
And Dylan, you've probably got fond memories of Wellington, because I think you debuted here alongside Tate in sevens, yeah? What do you remember about that?
It was 8 years ago now, 9 years ago with Tatey. It was good. It was awesome to come out here and play that tournament out here in Wellington. I think it was the year that it was the last year of Wellington, so the crowd wasn't as big as what it's going to be on the weekend, but good memories, great field and great place to be.
Do you sense an opportunity to start this week? Like, I think plenty of people with opinions about America's form, but would you like to make a debut?
I suppose I'd always like to start. They've got a world class winger on the edge there, and you've got to respect what he's done in the past, and what he's done in the effort areas, what he does every week. So, mate, if I'm more than happy to start, but I understand that Marika is there, and he's one of the best, and there's a reason for that.
Do you think that with the All Blacks, you're feeling the pressure this week? You know what it's like to play in front of the home crowd, obviously last week, but they've struggled in Wellington since 2018. They might have wrapped up the Bledisloe, but it was a close one. How much pressure do you think's on the All Blacks this week?
Well, I think the pressure's probably come from you guys, if anything. Every team goes through spells like that, and like I said, whether it's in Auckland, Wellington, Dunedin, Christchurch, wherever you play, playing against the ABs, they're world class outfit, and it's going to be a tough game. So there's always pressure from within to perform well and to win at home, especially. So there's no doubt that angle from them. But look, I don't read too much into that.
These guys online. I'm happy to start then. Just looking on, sort of talk on just backing up those Bledisloe performances. I guess Brandon and Tate were in the media yesterday, sort of talking about how you sort of sick of finishing as a close second. Has there been a sort of mindset shift you've noticed under Joe, maybe compared to past years, that sort of can reinforce and just sort of make that happen this time around?
We've been very process driven under Joe. It's always around the moment that's next and the moment in front of you. So we're very focused on just getting through today. Tuesday, big day for us, massive work day. So, and just, ticking those boxes and getting in those building blocks so we can perform come Saturday. So, look, we obviously weren't happy with the result on the weekend and we want to get a result this weekend. So, but we understand that there's a process to that and we've got to take it day by day and keep sharpening the axe.
And so Dylan, sort of being in and out of the squad this rugby championship, what's been the messaging from Joe just in those times that you haven't sort of made it in terms of those work-ons and those key things in your game that you sort of looked to implement when you came on the weekend?
Well, I think just prepping the boys for the week has been the biggest thing, trying to be my best for the team and during that week that Carl was saying throughout the whole process. Understand selections throughout your whole career aren't going to be for you and against you the whole time. So, yeah, you just got to prep yourself as best as you can. That's all you can do. Be ready when you can.
Hey Luke, can you just you're part of that side in Wellington in 2020. Is there things that when you're playing in New Zealand you've got to do to get yourself into a game, into the contest? Is there something different about games that have done well there and you guys have been in the fight and other games that you haven't? And have you been able to put your finger on what they are?
Nah, can't really put my finger on it. We definitely can't be giving up 28 points in the first half, that's for sure. We've got to start well and we've got to just keep taking moments that when we can and taking our opportunities because coming up against sides like the All Blacks, South Africa, Argentina, they already present limited opportunities for us. So when those opportunities do arise, we've got to be good enough to take them and you've got to be clinical in that space. So I think for us, it's just starting well is the big thing, and then just keeping that pressure on and making sure that we're sticking to our game plan and being good enough to capitalise on those opportunities that we get.
Is there anything specific about playing in New Zealand though? Like, is it just the fact that it's a home crowd that makes it harder there, or is there anything in particular about New Zealand that makes it difficult there to win?
And it's always tough playing away from home, and our record probably speaks for itself. It hasn't been great over here, but that doesn't mean it can't change. We understand that the All Blacks at home are they're confident and they feed off the energy that the fans give. So I don't know if you want to read too much into that, but the field's still the same size, 15 guys for 15 guys, 80 minutes. Like, we just got to be good enough to take those opportunities, like I've said, and we've got to be if we want to win.
Hey guys, Joe Porter here from RNZ. Given what happened last week, especially in the second half and the way that you were able to adjust and really make inroads into the All Blacks and almost win the game, and given the All Blacks record so far this year, which hasn't been as impressive as it has been in the past, do you think the All Blacks are as beatable as they've ever been?
Yeah, people have been talking around stuff like that and a lot about them. But look, like I said, All Blacks in New Zealand, they're a world-class outfit, and I don't know how many times we have to keep repeating it, but we've got to be good enough on the day to win, and so that's on us. I don't think it has anything to do with how the All Blacks are playing or what's going on inside their camp, but we know that come Saturday we're going to have a tough match against the World Cup finalists last year. So look, we've got to be good enough on the day to win, and we understand that. So there's nothing around us thinking that they're this or that. It's just Bledisloe game here in New Zealand. I think it's a game that everyone wants to be a part of, and I'm sure they're thinking the same. So these rivalry matches are right up there in terms of intensity and how hard it is. So it'll be whoever performs on the day, and the best team will win.
And again, given what happened last week in the second half and the way you were able to get on top, what differences do you expect from the All Blacks this week? Do you think they would have taken a look at that and tried to figure out what they did that allowed you or didn't allow you to get on top How much are you expecting their game plan to change this week, given what you were able to do in the second half?
Well, I think we'll look at stuff that they've done as well and tighten up screws. I don't think it's going to change too much. They'll just tighten up a fair bit of what they've done. The same with what we did in that first half. So they're not going to change their game plan. The game plan works against a lot of teams around the world, and it worked against us in the first half. So I don't think they'll be going too far.
Dylan, what can those sorts of carries though? What can they do to a team in terms of the confidence levels? Because that was like one of the turning points in the second half was that break, as well as Brandon Payne and Moses.
I think it's just always good to play on the front foot. We get a little break like that and get through contact, gets us on the front foot and quick ball. They tried to slow it down a bit and ended up in a yellow card, which also helps us a bit there. But to be able to play on the front foot and have that dominance in the carry helps us attack a lot quicker, a lot faster.